it's like we get in our own way. I don't know, it's more than that. They were just showing me a scenario where it's like people will, I don't know, they were like excluding one or ostracizing one, or it seemed like they were out to get one. I don't know, something like this. It was like something like that. But then it's like go their way, I suppose, or it wasn't the outcome they wanted. It's something. It's like they got caught, this idea, okay? And so then all of a sudden the many want to apologize to the one. Oh, I just realized they might be referencing all of us and God. Okay, let's not. Let's just go back to what it was so I can simplify it. Okay, so, and they want to apologize to the one. Sorry, they are blending a few together now, okay? But I need to just be able to speak it all through. I'll forget the other stuff if we're... okay, so... Yeah, because you were just using me, and that helps me with this. Because it always changes it if it's God. So let's not do that. Let's still keep it like humans with humans. And so they showed me this, and they had me as the one. And it's like, well, they would have been happy to leave you excluded or hurt you, harm you, if it went in their favor. But because it didn't go in their favor, now they want your sympathy. Now they want your apology, now, or forgiveness. Now they want, whatever. And then they showed, seriously, they showed like dire straits for these people. And I did have sympathy for them. I was like, oh God. And so then they were showing me that's like part of the problem. It's like we've learned not to do that in this kind of specific scenario. It's like if they intentionally were looking to harm you, the only reason they now want the forgiveness is because they see how horrible they were. And that it's like, it was almost like they lost, but I don't know what they lost is what I'm saying. It was a little confusing with that. So it's like if you invite them back in, they're still the same people. Had it gone in their favor, they had no problem continuing to keep the swords in your back. They didn't care you were down and out. They didn't care you were bleeding to death. They didn't care about any of that. They had zero sympathy for you. So now they want your sympathy. If you give it to them, it's almost like you're a fool, because they're still the same people. The next opportunity they get, they're taking it and back with the swords in your back, right? It's almost like they're Neanderthals, like they haven't learned. They're not teachable. They're not evolving. They're still out for the me, the ego, the I, the individual, right? They'll take, step on anybody to keep going up. That's the ego. Okay, so that is what they're showing me. They are showing me that's kind of like what we do with God. We tell God, fuck you, we want free will, get the fuck off, we're independent, leave us alone. And then when shit goes wrong, everybody's like, oh God, God. What do you mean God? You said fuck off. I said fine, you have free will, you can live in hell. If you want to reunite with me, then now you got to pass a test because you assholes keep doing this shit. So are you teachable? Can you learn? Can you grow? Can you evolve? Can you recognize you're part of the whole? You're part of one. You want to reunite with one, then you got to be part of one. You got to be part of the whole. But if you want to be separate, it's like you can't have both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Which the fuck do you want? Right? Are you going to keep the individualized I, the ego, the free will, and operate from that stance? And forever fucking shoot yourself in the foot because you can't learn that way. You cannot learn coming from your ego. You keep proving it. But you think you're so smart, so you keep fucking doing it. You're certain you can outwit God, which you cannot. And so here we go again. And so it's like, why would God give us the umpteenth chance? Because he's unconditional love. It's something we can't fathom because we humans suck. We're such assholes. We're so stupid. We're not teachable, right? It's like, get the fuck out of your ego so you can be teachable, so you can evolve, so you can grow, so you can recognize that simple rule. Do unto others as you want done unto you. It seems simple, doesn't it? But it's not. The reason it's not is because most people will claim they're doing it as a benefit, like it'll benefit them, right? And they're part of the whole. Like it's like they skirt around it or something. But ultimately they're doing it to get, to hoard, to take, to greed, to hold on to, because they're living in a world of lack. They're living in hell. They're coming from that lower vibration. And so to rise above to unconditional love, to float, to thrive, it requires them to give up all their bullshit, all their false beliefs, all their egotism, all their false illusions, that fear, which you would think would be easy saying it that way. But people hold on to that stuff like a dog with a bone because they're scared. They're scared if they let go, they'll have nothing left. They don't believe, right? They don't believe. That's the word of the day. So interesting. There was so much more to this, but of course, it's like I come on when they tell me to come on and when they're showing me something that I can't see all the way through, but I feel like I have somewhat of something to discuss, but then they tend to do that. They take over and they morph it into something else. So I guess it's still the same. I guess it is a little challenging for me now because we split off to now making it non-human. Well, just meaning originally when you showed it to me, it was showing me and then a group of other humans. So it was like human against human kind of thing. Oh, right. Thank you. Okay. They brought me back there for that reason. Okay. So, because that did kind of happen to me. I was definitely isolated and did feel like just kicked aside. And yet at the same time, I looked at it like it was for me, right? I did all I could do in many instances. And I was like, you know what? It's like, who treats people like this? I don't want to be, why would I fight to stay where it feels awful? So I'm good. I can let it go. I can go where I'm not just tolerated, but cherished and loved, and it feels good. And so, it really had me get closer to me, and it had me get closer then to unconditional love. So ultimately it was for me, and it always is. That is always the case, but it's our choice what we do with what we perceive as towers or hard times, how we perceive and how we proceed by moving forward, what we choose to do. And so they were showing that ultimately that is for all of us. When all those towers come in, when all that stuff happens, when we all go through that at some point in our lives, whether it's an identity crisis or a failure that we perceive as a failure at some point, or some major life shakeup, or whatever the case may be, that's the knock on the door. That's the opportunity. There's always those opportunities, but those are the louder ones. Those are the bigger ones to say, are you going to wake up and get close to you and recognize what's going on here? Right? That you're not honoring you, you're not nourishing you, you're not loving you, you're tolerating things that are harmful because you think you need to belong to something outside of you that doesn't even want you, isn't even caring for you, isn't even loving you. Right? It's all these wake-up calls we get, and we have to decide and choose, like, are you going to start thinking for yourself? Do you want to become whole and complete, or do you still want to keep operating from that hurt, that wound, that ego, that lesson, that lack, that survival? It feels awful. So are you going to choose something else? Are you going to choose you? Or are you going to choose to reconnect to unconditional love who can lift you up and out of it? And everybody gets that choice. And you're choosing all the time. And but then once you go through it, you're so grateful for it, and you see why everything had to happen the way it did to give you that opportunity. And what are you going to do with that opportunity? And, a lot of times, at least what they show me, it appears that people collapse over time because it's easier just to go back into the comfort zone of the known but they hate the known. They hate, it's almost like, it's so weird to say it this way, but it's almost like they hate free will. But because, again, it's like, I don't think it's ever said this way, but it's like they realize that's the choice of living in hell. But again, I don't think it's like seen or thought through all the way to verbalize it as such. Because ultimately, when you let unconditional love lead the way, it's for your highest and best and the highest and best of all. And it's just more of like peace and ease and bliss and floating. It's just a more of, because you're thriving. You're not in fear. You're not in lack. You're not worried about this or that. Like that's all from lower energies. That's getting stuck in the weeds, stuck in debating with other people's egos, the search and the seeking to win or be better or to be bigger, all this nonsense that we do that entertains us and keeps us preoccupied in our drama to avoid feeling the pain that we refuse to face. That would, oh God, we are funny. But I should have came on when they gave me that last piece, because that last piece they gave me the other day, I just didn't put it all together like this. But that last piece was, just being so grateful to be this connected with them. And I think I had said something at one point like, man, everybody should go through this. And they were kind of laughing at me like everybody does or has the opportunity to. And it's kind of like that's the whole idea. It's like we don't want to rob people of that. And so back to the original incident, if I stepped into, essentially we would call it like their karma, right? So the people who, let's just say people are trying to harm me, steal from me, take from me, shun me, whatever, they don't get the outcome they want. And so now they're in need, they're in lack, and they're like, oh my God, can you help us? Can you forgive us? Can you bring us back into the fold? And it's like, no, you chose what you chose. And had you won or quote won or got over what you thought you were going to get over, you would be perfectly fine. I'd never hear from you again. It's only because now, and the thing is, I would be robbing you like you tried to rob me if I stepped in and saved you. You need to save yourself and understand what that means and recognize that so you stop living in that fear and that lack where it causes you to rob and to steal and to shun and to shame and to push away those outside of you. So it's almost like the kindest thing to do really is to step aside and let you discover that on your own. Yet the problem that I see with that is some people, one, aren't strong enough to fight through that. It's no joke. But it is like it's hardwired into them to behave that way. So it's like what you hear, it's like they're from the devil, meaning they're from the ego, they're from the heathen, they're from the survival, they're from that instinctual, reptile brain. That's all they know, that's how they live, that's what they continue to repeat, but they don't even see it, right? Because they can be getting an education, they can be getting all these, this and that, and it props up that ego even more, but they don't understand it's not truly evolving or truly choosing. They haven't stepped through those doorways yet. And when you're in those spaces, though, even that sounds wackadoodle. Step through those doorways. It's like they don't even see it. They're just chasing their own tail, projecting an illusion of what they wish was true, and it's not. So it's, anybody, quote, saving them isn't doing them any favors and isn't saving them. It's keeping them stuck in that. It's like they always have the choice and the opportunity, but they have to take it. They have to. Nobody can do it for them. And it is different for everybody, right? Like what seemed horrific for me, somebody else could be like, oh, I wish I had that horror, right? Because they might be in such other dire straits that to them, they dream of what my horror is, right? Because, what I tell, like what is horrific or let's just say what's ground zero for me is maybe say that's horrific. That could be somebody else's ceiling of 100, right? That's why it's like there's no point in competing or comparing. It's people have normalized whatever they've normalized, and anything less than that feels hard, and then it continues to get more challenging and more challenging the further down you go. And so we're all at different places and spaces and time to determine that. But this is also why you want to continue to learn and love yourself and continue to elevate that baseline, so that it is like the idea of you're getting closer and closer to God, but you have to be careful with that too. Meaning for the love of, right? To honor oneself and all those around you, to be filled with unconditional love, to offer that to yourself, for yourself, and for others. But again, it's like, I do think you have to be careful with all that, because it can very, very easily, and it's a slippery slope, can slide into the ego of being tantalized or excited by that power and then getting greedy. That's what we see, and you have examples of all over the place. Okay, sorry, excuse me. All right, I think that's it for now. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.